Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Quarantine Drumming with Tristan, day 5. We survived an entire week, or at least I did. Um, I'm assuming you did as well, so good job. Uh, it's been fun drumming for a whole week, and now we're done. Um, it's been a long tradition of this show that we've maintained for a long time. It's kind of redundant. Long tradition we've maintained for a long time that at the end of every week, we just do a weekly recap of everything we covered from the previous 4 days. So we're not going to break tradition. We're going to do the same thing today on day 5 of Quarantine Drumming with Tristan. So today's plan is to go through everything we did this week, but kind of in shortened versions because otherwise it would take, an hour or something. And I don't really have that kind of time. And I kind of doubt you do too. Well, actually, maybe we do because we're in quarantine, but I don't want to do that. So we're not going to spend an hour on all that stuff. We'll do shortened versions. We'll get through everything and then we'll be done. Okay. One quick note before we start playing. I have reached a momentous decision concerning the schedule of Quarantine Drumming with Tristan. Previously, it had been every weekday / whenever I feel like it at 8:15. I have decided that is exactly what I'm still going to do going into next week. Is every weekday / whenever I feel like it. But for clarification, whenever I feel like it does not include weekends. I do not feel it like it on weekends. So Saturdays and Sundays are off the table. As for the weekdays, those are all totally on the table. I will be still doing 8:15 every Monday through Friday / whenever I feel like it. So if I don't feel like it on a certain weekday, I just not going to happen because I don't feel like it. That being said, I feel like it most mornings. So I think it's a safe bet it's going to happen every weekday morning. But weekends those fall under the I don't feel like it category. So probably not going to happen. So I think I'll see you next Monday after this. All right. We ready to drum? Let's do it. Okay, we started the week with 8/8/16, my favorite. So that's what we're going to do first. We're just going to do basic high stick height 8/8/16 at 120. We'll do that, let's say twice. Here we go. Again. Don't hit your stick like me, kids. Okay, let's bump it up a little bit before we add any variations. This is 140. And 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's go low now. I think playing at a low stick height is kind of like the asparagus on your plate. You don't want to do it. Like nobody comes up to a drum and they're like, "Oh, great drums! Here we go." Everybody wants to play big, right? But how much of what we do is actually at a low stick height? Quite a bit. So I think it's important that we always practice that, always throw that in somewhere into our warm up. Get a little bit of low stuff because you need to be good at it. You just don't want to work on it. Get over yourself, work on your low stick height. Let's do that one more time because I feel guilty about not working on it longer than the forte stuff. All right, this is 8/16 low. This thing's in the way. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now let's do crescendos. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Again. Okay. Now let's do the. We added variations at the end, so let's just do a single diddle at the end of each hand. So it'll be. Remember, I talked about this for probably too long on Monday and Tuesday. You want the strength and quality of two diddle notes to be the same as the eighth notes that came before. So it shouldn't be a difference in sound quality. Da 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 da. It should be da 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 same the whole time. And 1, 2, 1, 2. Great. Let's go ahead and move on to Tuesday's stuff. We did the exact same exercise, but we did it where it was all accent taps. So it's still 8/16, but everything is accent, non-accent. So let's do that. I'm going to slow us back down just a little bit. This is 120. This is 8/16 with accents and taps. 1, 2, 1, 2. Again. Great. Let's add a paradiddle at the end. So it'll be. I'm also going to speed this up, but not by 20. I'm just going to go by 10. So we're going to go up to 130, do the same exercise, but with a paradiddle at the end. Here we go. Okay. All right. Let's add now a sextuple at the end. So this is where we get that sort of the transition is an eighth note off. So you're going to end with the same hand you just started on, and then you're going to have to switch on the next eighth note to the left hand or right hand or whatever. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go back to day 1 and 2 and watch those. Let's see. So let's speed up a little bit. This is 140. So now we're doing 6 tuplets, and they will be accented, so it's going to sound like that. We did this on Tuesday. And 1, 2, 1, 2. My right hand's okay at them. My left hand, I feel like I'm always a little behind getting back to the eighth notes. Let's do it again for me because I'm selfish. And 1, 2, 1, 2. If you're struggling like that, like you just heard, if you're struggling like me with that, uh, just a little mindset thing that I try to do when I've got something choppy in the middle of an exercise, like easier stuff, choppy thing, easier stuff. Um, I try to really hit the gas on whatever that rhythm is. So in my mind, I'm like cruising, 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 shift into second gear. And that doesn't mean like I'm getting tense. It just means I'm kind of like playing a little faster than I think the speed actually should be. And then that ends up usually being right because my mind wants to typically be slow subconsciously. But if I tell it like a little faster here, it'll actually be right. That works for me. If that doesn't work for you, sorry, just practice more. Okay. Wednesday, we worked out of Frank Chappell's The Packet, a book that I talked about as being actually not that great. Sorry, Frank, but if you want to sponsor the show, I'll talk about how great your book is and eat my words because money. But there's a great exercise in there, so we're going to go over that probably at the same speed so it doesn't take too much time because it's kind of a long one. If you don't remember how this one goes, it's 16 on each hand. Everything's high, then everything's low, then 8 high, 8 low, 8 low, 8 high, 4 high, 4 low, 4 low, 4 high, 2 high, 2 low, 2 low, 2 high, bucks, reverse bucks, crescendos, and then I added decrescendos because for some weird reason he didn't include that. Okay, I'll try to call these out as they come, just like I did on Wednesday. This is he calls it legatos in the book. It's a very general term, but this is the exercise from the packet. Here we go. 16 high. 1, 2, 1, 2. $16 low. 8 high, 8 low. Then reversed. Fours. Twos. Reversed. Bucks. Reversed. Crescendos. Decrescendos. Take your time. Great. By the way, with that one, ideally, I think I'd actually want to repeat everything. So you would do every single one of those twice. For time's sake, I'm not going to do that, but I think that's a good way to approach that. Cool. All right. Last thing. We worked out of Stick Control, which I still don't have my copy with me because I'm bad at this. But that's just probably the greatest drumming book ever. If you don't have a copy of that, go get one. Except don't leave your apartment or house because we're under quarantine. So I don't know. I bet you could find the first page online for free somewhere. Like if you just Google image search or something. It's really, 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 really important book. Um, and honestly, you can do a lot with just the first page. So if you can find the first page, great. If you know me, you could just email me and I'll send you the first page. Actually, I don't know if that's copyright. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, but whatever. Anyway, find the first page somehow. Um, it's a good book, and if you can buy it, get it because it's also great. Anyway, we did the Dawson method through the first 8 patterns. Again, for time's sake, actually, it seems like we have enough time. Let's just do all that again. So we're going to do all of that again. Recap. The first 8 patterns are right hand lead. And it's 16 notes, four groups 4. Then left hand. Then diddle starting on the right. Then starting on the left. Then paradiddles. Then rediddle pause. Then reverse paradiddles. Then the weird paradiddles where it's like over the bar line. Downbeat. And do that one again. Great. And then you do 4s in between the first time after each pattern. So you do line 1, then 4s, line 2, right? And then you do 8s in between the second time through all 8 of them. And then 16s in between the third time. And then 32nd notes with a beat in between. Hopefully when we do it, I won't sound that bad on my left hand 32nd notes. Okay, we're going to put us already at a pretty quick tempo. For this one, let's go 104. Slightly slower than I was just playing it. And this will be Stick Control with the Dawson method. Everybody ready? I'll call things out as they come just so that we don't get lost. And 1, 2, 1, 2. Left hand. And we're doing 4s. 2 doubles. Off the left. Paradiddles. Rediddle pause. Reverse paradiddles. Sorry. Weird paradiddles. Back to the beginning. 8s. Doubles. Off the left. Paradiddles. Rediddle plus. Reverse. Paradiddles. Weird ones. Beginning. 16s. Left. Diddles. Left. Paradiddles. Rediddle plus. Reverse paradiddles. Weird paradiddles. Beginning. 30-second notes. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let's start on red diddle pause. 1, 2, uh, uh, uh. Well, in classic fashion, we go till I fail, and I just failed. I apologize, everyone. I expected to get through that without any failure, but sometimes it happens. Anyway, thanks for watching week 1 of Quarantine Drumming with Tristan. I'll be back on Monday at 8:15 if I feel like it. Currently, I feel like it, so it's probably going to happen. Once again, if you have any comments or anything that you want to share, hey, we should try this. We should do this. I'm sick of doing 8-8-16. Here's a better exercise. Please share. We'll probably do it. I've got to provide a whole nother week's worth of material next week. I can promise you I will not be talking about 8-8-16 anymore. I might play it because it's a good warm up, but there's going to be totally different stuff next week. But one way to guarantee that there's definitely new stuff next week is just share some stuff. Say, hey, try this. I'll probably try it. In the meantime, have a good weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, wipe surfaces, wash your hands, all that stuff, and I'll see you next week on Monday for Quarantine Drumming with Tristan, week 2. Goodbye, everybody.